This is the OTB Network.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. A lot of stakes racing action to bring to you from around the country. We are going to start at Pimlico with Saturday's running of the Grade 3 Safely Kept $100,000 for 3-year-old fillies sprinting 6. Let's head down to Maryland now for the running of the Safely Kept.
Blocked away. And they're off. For Ruby's Private Academy. Private Academy sprinting out to that lead. There goes Private Academy. This long shot going to bound away at a quick pace out there. Opens up 2. For Ruby's Miss Lodi next, followed by Chocolate Men in between horses. We have Amazing Lady. Wilzada's just 3 lengths on the pace. Zawzuth hung out in the 3 or 4 path, and Spelling is a trailer. 6 lengths covers them now in the Safely Kept Stakes as they make the way for the far turn with less than a half mile to go. Around the turn, and it's Private Academy showing the way 3/4 of a length for Ruby's second. 2 lengths back, Wilzada, Miss Lodi in 4th. Amazing Lady Zawzuth is on the outside, and she's dropped some 6 lengths on that pace. With less than 5/16 to go, Spelling rides the rail second to last, and Chocolate Men is the trailer. They're at the top of the stretch now. For Ruby's Private Academy, Miss Lodi is coming with a run on the extreme outside, and here comes Miss Lodi. She's set down for the drive. Got to get to For Ruby's. For Ruby's Miss Lodi. Wilzada trying to move one off the inside. Private Academy's had it. Amazing Lady is taken 3rd. So it's Miss Lodi and For Ruby's to dispute it with a 16th of a mile to come. Going to be very close. Miss Lodi gaining inches on the outside, and she's got the advantage now. Miss Lodi turns in a top effort to win. Miss Lodi wins. Photo for second, either For Ruby's or Wilzada, followed by Spelling, then Amazing Lady. Zawzuth never fired after a wide trip, and Chocolate Men and Private Academy.
Miss Lodi picking up a victory here by a length, sitting a perfect stalking trip, 4 wide at the top of the stretch, drawing to a length victory at 4-1 over For Ruby's, with the favored Wilzada running back in the 3rd spot after showing very little early speed. And this was a filly that earlier on in her career could certainly show a nice turn of early foot. A little surprising to see that. Also disappointing to me was Zawzuth, who finished off the board without showing any early speed over the racetrack at Pimlico, which was labeled fast under cloudy conditions. I think the track had been drying out and getting a little bit harder and harder on horses that rallied from off the pace. The winner, Miss Lodi, is a 3-year-old chestnut daughter of Mr. Greeley from Furtide by Big Spruce, bred in Kentucky by Dr. D.W. Frazier, owned by R.C. Colton, and massed thoroughbreds, trained by Tom Amos, and ridden to victory by Ryan Fogelsonger. Miss Lodi completes the 6 furlongs of the Safely Kept in 1:11 and 2. Next, we're going to head to Chicago for the running of the Pucker Up Stakes for 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/8 on the turf. Grade 3 credentials at stake. Let's head to Chicago for the running of the Pucker Up.
Away and running of the Pucker Up. Little Treasure with a brilliant breakout from her rail stall. Sellers Shiraz showing early foot, and here's Delicatessa now part of the lead scene, and the French-bred filly Baldalia's up there too, and Transition Time stacks out 5 wide on the course. They head toward the clubhouse turn. It is favored. Little Treasure coming away just in front between fillies. Delicatessa, Sellers Shiraz right there, 1 off the rail. Baldalia 4 wide. Transition Time a 5 wide run around the first turn. Miss Marcia has a good spot down inside. Miss Marcia just in back of these leaders. So too is Tracy's Wild, who's in a real forest of fillies there, as it's a close-knit field making their way toward the backstretch. Attico's only 5 from the front. Be By Honey also turf saving. Then farther back is Yalta, and Kathy KD is last of a close-knit Pucker Up Stakes field. The half went in 49 and 1. 24-second opening quarter for Little Treasure. Sellers Shiraz now draws alongside. Little Treasure and Sellers Shiraz, and the choices are now vying for the lead with Baldalia right there running 3rd. Transition Time continues a wide fourth. Then Miss Marcia still right there toward the rail. Tracy's Wild only 3 from these leaders. Delicatessa, Attico coming up on the outside. Attico in hand, 5 from the front. Be My Honey ground saving both turns. Kathy KD and Yalta is last to make the top of the straight. 3/4, 113 flat, top of the stretch. Little Treasure and Renee Douglas, Cornelia Velasquez and Seller Shiraz, and these two fillies now face off for the final furlong. Farther back is Tracy's Wild, Miss Marcia, and Delicatessa. Kathy KD with the rail run. It is Little Treasure, the French-bred filly. Little Treasure to win the 39th Pucker Up. Little Treasure by 2. Seller Shiraz second. Kathy KD quickened on well to run third. Farther back, Tracy's Wild in 1:49 and 4.
Little Treasure picking up a victory here under Renee Douglas, who had a very good summer in the Midwest this year. As the favorite, this is a filly who began her career in Europe, was fairly successful, imported to the United States, and now in the barn of Laura DeSaru. Seller Shiraz showed her usual good early speed, vying with the eventual winner every step of the way. Kathy KD makes her usual off-the-pace rally into the 3rd spot. The winner, Little Treasure, is a 3-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Night Shift, from Luminosity by Sillery. Bred by the M3 Elevage in France, owned by Sydney Port Trust, Liberty Road Stable, and San Gabriel Investments, trained by Laura DeSaru and ridden to victory by Renee Douglas. Little Treasure completes the 1 1/8 on the Arlington turf in 1:49 and 4. Heading now to Philadelphia Park for a juvenile race for fillies, the Kindergarten, $75,000 on offer for the 2-year-old fillies going 6. Very big field originally carded, a lot of scratches, kind of hard to figure out why. Let's head down to Philadelphia now for the running of the Kindergarten.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Number 2, Mandy's Goldmaker, did not get a good start. On the inside, Midnight Rhapsody is out first. Midnight Rhapsody sprints to the lead. On the outside, the heavily favored Big Score, right with her second. It's a length and a half, make it 2 now. Back to Elias's Cat and Jay's Crafty Cat. Those two side by side, 3rd and 4th. And another 3.5 back to Mandy's Goldmaker. Just less than 4 furlongs to go. And Midnight Rhapsody leads it by just a half length. Big Score is moving comfortably just to her outside flank second. It's 2.5 to Jay's Crafty Cat, who's in behind the top 2 running in 3rd. Eliza's Cat looks to make a bit on the outside from 4th. And Mandy's Goldmaker trying to get into it from about 6 lengths away. But Big Score just cruises right past Midnight Rhapsody. And Big Score comes to the top of the stretch in front by 2. Eliza's Cat now takes aim on the outside. She's moved into 2nd. Mandy's Goldmaker down the middle of the racetrack 3rd. Inside the gate pole, and Donnie Mesh beginning to go to work here on Big Score, and she's responding, just pulling away here with every stride. Big Score by 4, make it 5 now. Eliza's Cat second best, Mandy's Goldmaker 3rd. Big Score sharp here today. She wins as much the best. Big Score under the line by just better than 6. Eliza's Cat was 2nd. Mandy's Goldmaker was 3rd.
Maybe it was Big Score that they were all afraid of. She did pick up a big score here. 2 for 2 going into this race for Steve Asmussen, coming off of a very good race in Saratoga in Allowance Company. Drew away after showing good speed. She ran off and hid by 8 lengths under Donnie Mesh. Eliza's Cat rallies into the 2nd spot, and it was 6 back to Manny's Goldmaker. 10-1 long shot in the field, who had actually come out of a good race at Saratoga where she broke her maiden. Tried to spin away, had absolutely no luck whatsoever, but in with a little bit lesser company here, picks up the 3rd spot. The winner, Big Score, is a dark bay or brown 2-year-old daughter of Grand Slam from Voluptuous by Cozine, bred in Kentucky by the Woodland Farm, owned by Jack Grunwald and trained by Steve Asmussen, ridden to victory by Donnie Mesh. Big Score completes the 6 furlongs of the Kindergarten in 1:11 and 1. Heading to California next to Del Mar for the running of the Del Mar Futurity last Wednesday, closing day. $250,000 on offer for 2-year-olds, stretching out to 7. It's a Grade 2 race that has been dominated by Bob Baffert over the course of the last 6 years. Let's head out to California now for the running of the Del Mar Futurity.
And away they go. Total Advantage very fast into stride. Now Ice Cold Beer at Reds coming through at the rail. Friendly Mike is right there. Gentleman's Club out fast from the outside gate. Then out of here, Calf Wayne has the white blinkers. 4 lengths off these leaders. Bull Market now coming quickly down at the rail. And at the back is Chief Planner. 6 lengths would cover them all. They make their way to the half-mile pole, and Ice Cold Beer at Reds is the leader, half a length to Total Advantage. Bull Market now flying through on the inside, though, and Bull Market's gone all the way up to lead them. Friendly Mike is a joint third. Gentleman's Club fifth, 3 lengths off them. Then Calf Wayne back third last. Out of Here is 6 off the leaders, and Chief Planner is last. Past the 3/8 they go, and Bull Market the new leader. Ice Cold Beer at Reds right there. Then Friendly Mike, Total Advantage, Gentleman's Club. Calf Wayne in the white blinkers still has 4 lengths to make up. He's looking for somewhere to go. Now here comes Calf Wayne with a nice run down at the rail. Then Out of Here, Chief Planner is picking it up from last. They turn for home. Ice Cold Beer at Reds, Bull Market, Friendly Mike behind that. Calf Wayne in the white blinkers running on, and Chief Planner hooking to the grandstand side. Now here's Calf Wayne in the white blinkers on the inside. Friendly Mike, Ice Cold Beer at Reds battling home gamely, and then Chief Planner. But Ice Cold Beer at Reds just keeps on finding. Calf Wayne chases him home. Ice Cold Beer at Reds, the more they asked, the more he gave, and he won the Del Mar Futurity to Calf Wayne. Close for third, Chief Planner and Friendly Mike.
Ice Cold Beer at Reds, winning for guess who? Bob Baffert. The name will tell you it's owned by Mike Pegram, picking up a 2-length victory after showing good speed. Stablemate from the Baffert barn, Bull Market, got off a bit slow, did rush up to contest with Ice Cold Beer at Reds. He faded after that attempt. Calf Wayne and Chief Planner both closed nicely to pick up the 2nd and 3rd spots. Bob Baffert running 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th in the field of 8 in the Del Mar Futurity, and interestingly enough, he did not necessarily run his best 2-year-old here. We're going to be seeing him in a few minutes. Del Mar Futurity winner Ice Cold Beer at Reds is a dark bay or brown 2-year-old son of In Excess from Gilded Times by Crafty Prospector. Bred in California by his owner, Michael Pegram, trained by Bob Baffert, and ridden to victory by David Flores. Ice Cold Beer at Reds completes the 7 furlongs at Del Mar in 1:22 and 4. Now we're going to head to Turfway Park for a pair of juvenile stakes. We're going to begin with the Kentucky Cup Juvenile Fillies on Saturday, $100,000 for the 2-year-old fillies going a flat mile. Let's head down to Turfway for the running of the Kentucky Cup Juvenile Fillies.
Now she's in. They're at the post. And they're off. Glorious Miss breaks sharply for the lead from the inside. Up on the outside, Jody's Delight. Down along the rail, Dance Hall Girl is next. Through from the inside, Ruby's Reception. On the outside, Atlantic Ocean into the first turn. Dance Hall Girl from the inside gets the lead. Has it by half length. Glorious Miss is second. Then up on the outside, Jody's Delight runs third. It's a length back to Atlantic Ocean in fourth. Gap of 2, Westerly Breeze is fifth. Then from the rail, Ruby's Reception is next, followed by My Mish. Devil at the Wire is the trailer. 23 and 2 for the opening quarter. Glorious Miss in front, now by a half length. Jody's Delight second. On the extreme outside, Atlantic Ocean runs third, gap of 2. Dance Hall Girl fourth ahead, Westerly Breeze fifth. Ruby's Reception on the inside sixth. Then My Mish, Devil at the Wire, they got the half in 47. Down along the inside, Glorious Miss, still with the head in front. Now here's Atlantic Ocean, who gains ground up on the outside. Those two are right together. Then it's a length back. Jody's Delight is now third. Moving to the outside, Westerly Breeze is fourth. Moving to the extreme outside, Ruby's Reception. They're in the final furlong. It's Atlantic Ocean. Now drawing away, opens the lead out to 3 lengths, gaining ground on the outside, Ruby's Reception, but Atlantic Ocean wins it by 2.5. Ruby's Reception ran well at the end for second. It's a photo for third.
Atlantic Ocean, trained by guess who? Bob Baffert, picking up a 2.5 length victory as the second choice in the wagering here at just under 4-1. Favored Ruby's Reception rallies from off the pace, making a nice move 4 wide, coming up for the place spot, having a length ahead of Jody's Delight, who had stalked the pace 3 wide in the early going, fading and just keeping her nose in front of Westerly Breeze for the 3rd spot. The winner, Atlantic Ocean, is the filly that had sold for an enormous amount earlier this year, bombed in her debut, did come back to win, and has now picked up a stakes victory in her first stakes try. She is a dark bay or brown daughter of Stormy Atlantic from Super Chef by Seattle Sloop. Bred in Florida, rather, by Arthur Appleton, owned by the Thoroughbred Corporation and the estate of Ahmed bin Salman, trained by Bob Baffert, and ridden to victory by Mike Smith, who had a terrific weekend in stakes racing action. Atlantic Ocean completes the 1 mile of the Kentucky Cup Juvenile Fillies in 1:40.1. We're going to continue with Kentucky Cup action with the Kentucky Cup Juvenile for colts and geldings. Grade 3 credentials here, $100,000. This time the distance is 1 1/16 miles. Let's head back down to Turfway for the running of the Kentucky Cup Juvenile.
And they're off. Crown King stumbled badly and unseated his rider, and Vindication was taken back also at the start. Vindication now is dead last as they move forward the first turn. It's Private Gold from the inside. On the outside, now moving into second, that's Captain Amour. The loose horse is right outside of Captain Amour. May have bothered Boston Park a bit as they went into the turn. Boston Park is lane third. Tito's Bow now runs a fourth. Vindication now moves up. Then it's Rapid Proof. Winterprise trails 23-2 for the opening quarter. The leader is Private Gold. Now the loose horse outside of Pat Day and Private Gold. As of now, though, Day still has a hold of Private Gold. Doesn't seem to be bothered by the loose horse to the outside. Gaining ground now up on the outside. Boston Park moves into second. Then it's Captain Amour who runs third. Tito's Bow fourth. Vindication has moved to the extreme outside. Vindication is gaining ground, the half, in 47-1. Vindication up on the outside comes from last, and now Vindication is moved by. Vindication gets the lead. Down along the inside, Private Gold second. Then up on the outside, that's Boston Park. That loose horse is still in between horses as they move into the stretch. It's Vindication in front. Oh, now the loose horse came over on Pat Day on the rail. He had to check. Captain Amour moves up on the outside, but it's all Vindication. Vindication just running a huge race after breaking poorly. Vindication in hand wins the Kentucky Cup Juvenile by 5 or 6 lengths. Private Gold still finished second despite being bothered by the loose horse, then Tito's Bow.
This one may be the best of the group in Bob Baffert's 2-year-old collection, of which he has got many. Vindication and Mike Smith making a point-given-like move to remain undefeated, drawing off by an easy 6 lengths over Private Gold. It was actually Crowned King. It was about 3.5 lengths in between those two horses. Crowned King is the horse that dropped his rider on the ground at the start of the race and ran around, kind of interfering a little bit with the way the race was run, in fact giving Private Gold some trouble on the front end. Nonetheless, Private Gold gets the credentials for second. Tito's Bow from off the pace into the third spot, but there was no doubt Vindication does certainly look like a colt to keep your eye on. That sweeping wide move around the turn, simply dragging Mike Smith into contention, drawing off handily, very much shades of Point Given from a couple of years ago. Juvenile winner, Vindication, is a dark bay or brown 2-year-old son of Seattle Slew from Strawberry Reason by Strawberry Road. He was bred in Kentucky by the Payson Stud. Owned by Padua Stable, he was a very expensive youngster as when he was purchased, I believe for over $1 million by Padua, who has changed trainers. They've spread some of their business around between a number of trainers. This youngster in the care of Bob Baffert. Ridden to victory by Mike Smith, Vindication completes the mile in a 16th in 1:46.3. We are going to pause now for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be finishing up the day's action from Turfway on Kentucky Cup Day. We'll also be heading to New Jersey for a pair of stakes from the Meadowlands. Please stay tuned.
NYBreds.com, the online home of Thoroughbred Racing's best incentive program. NYBreds.com features sales and racing news, farm tours, articles by some of racing's top riders, the latest results, plus photos and streaming video of New York bred stakes races.
Here comes Critical Eye, and Critical Eye has won.
NYBreds.com has something for everyone. If racing is your full-time business, you'll want to see the leaders in both owner and breeder awards, and a list of stallion earnings courtesy of the Blood Horse. Racing fans will want to see the latest press releases from both NYRA and Finger Lakes, plus contests where you can cast your vote for New York bred divisional champions, or even name a newborn foal. Want to take your interest in racing to the next level? NYBreds.com shows how being an owner or breeder can be both fun and rewarding. Thanks to the New York Breeding and Racing Program. NYBreds.com has it all. That's NYBreds.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to continue with Kentucky Cup racing action with the Turfway Breeders' Cup Stakes for fillies and mares, $200,000, going 1 mile and a 16th. Let's head back down to Kentucky for the running of the Turfway Breeders' Cup.
And they're off. For the lead from between horses, that's Mystic Lady. Then on the outside, Red and Gold, followed by Trip and Miss Pick'ems. Moving into the first turn, the leader is Red and Gold. Goes wide, but still has the lead now by a length. Trip up on the outside takes second ahead. Mystic Lady down along the inside runs third. Then it's a length back to Miss Pick'ems in fourth. Happily Unbridled runs fifth. Curve Ahead sixth. Softly is now seventh. 2.5 back to Magic Storm. And 7-4-7 is the early trailer, 23-4 for the opening quarter. Red and Gold leads at a half length. Trip up on the outside is second ahead. Then it's Mystic Lady third. Length back to Miss Pick'ems in fourth. Happily Unbridled fifth. Then Curve Ahead, followed by Softly, Magic Storm, and 7-4-7, the half and 47-2. It's Red and Gold with the short lead, still by a half length. Trip on the outside second. From the rail, Mystic Lady runs third. 3 back to Softly in fourth. Miss Pick'ems is fifth. Then from the inside, Happily Unbridled sixth. 7-4-7 is gaining ground. As they move into the stretch, Trip on the outside with Red and Gold. Mystic Lady now moves off the rail and is gaining ground. They're in the final furlong, and Trip now draws away. Trip opens it out to 3. Mystic Lady second. Trip still undefeated here at Turfway, wins the Turfway Breeders' Cup, going away by 5 or 6. Mystic Lady second. Red and Gold third.
Trip, off a very nice victory here in Saratoga against Sprinting Money Allowance Company, stretches out and picks up a 5.5 length victory over Mystic Lady, who seems to be showing somewhat of a return to form after a disappointing pair of races earlier this year. Long shot, Red and Gold, showing the way in the early going and holding on quite nicely to finish in the third spot in a very good field of 9. The winner, Trip, is a chestnut mare, a daughter of Lord at War from Tour by 49er, bred in Kentucky at the Claiborne Farm, owned by Claiborne Farm, trained by Shug McGahee, and ridden to victory by Pat Day. Trip completes the 1 mile and a 16th of the Turfway Breeders' Cup Stakes in 1:43 flat. We're going to continue now with the Kentucky Cup Sprint, a Grade 3 sprint for 3-year-olds running for $150,000. Let's head back down to Kentucky for the running of the sprint.
And they're off. Day Trader breaks sharply for the lead on the outside. The inside, Richest Half, followed by Ecstatic, Still Be Smoking, and Flying Free. Down the backstretch, Day Trader is in front. Now by a length, Ecstatic gains ground, takes second. Then it's Richest Half who runs third. Still Be Smoking fourth ahead. Flying Free fifth. Sky Terrace on the outside is sixth. Up between horses, Bold Truth runs seventh. Then up from the inside, gaining ground, that's Shah Jahan, followed on the extreme outside by Relentless Seller, 22 flat. For the opening quarter, the leader, Day Trader, now by a half length. Ecstatic is gaining ground on the outside. Gap of 3. Flying Free runs a third. Down along the inside, Richest Half is fourth. Then gaining ground on the extreme outside, Relentless Seller. Also gaining ground, Premier Performer, but it's Day Trader. Day Trader still there, draws off by 3 lengths. Gaining ground, Premier Performer. Day Trader in front all the way, wins the sprint by almost 4. Premier Performer a fast closing second, then Ecstatic.
Day Trader and Pat Day. It seemed like Mike Smith and Pat Day were having a very good afternoon in Kentucky on Saturday, picking up a front-running 3+ length victory over Premier Performer, who made a huge late run. The early pace certainly helped him, as well as Ecstatic, who set the pace in the early going after having a little bit of trouble in the early going. He did get out of the gate a little bit poorly, gets up and gives chase to Day Trader. Perhaps that little bit of a bobble at the beginning cost him. He was the lukewarm choice, just over 3-1, perhaps on the merit of being trained by Bob Baffert, who was having such a terrific day. The winner, Day Trader, is a Grayer Roan 3-year-old son of Phone Trick from Policed by Police Dust, bred in Kentucky by James Herbner Jr., owned by Overbrook Farm, trained by D. Wayne Lucas, and ridden to victory by Pat Day. Day Trader completes the 6 furlongs of the Kentucky Cup Sprint in a 1:10 flat. Next, the Kentucky Cup Classic, a Grade 2 $400,000 event. 1.1 miles is the distance. A number of horses, perhaps considered second tier, trying to manage a berth in the Breeders' Cup Classic later on this season. Let's head back down to Kentucky for the running of the Kentucky Cup Classic.
They're at the post. And they're off. For the lead from the inside of Breeze, and on the outside, there's a Zealous. Pure Prize between those two. Heroes Tribute is next. Then Wood Moon as they move for the first turn. On the outside, there's Zealous with the lead, has it a half length. A Breeze down along the inside second. Pure Prize runs third, gap of 2. Heroes Tribute on the outside fourth. 5 lengths back to Wood Moon fifth. Then it's Miner's Prize, Nothing Flat, and Dollar Bill. First quarter 23-1. There's Zealous, a Breeze. They're right together. Gap of 2.5. Pure Prize runs third. Heroes Tribute is fourth. It's 7 lengths back to Wood Moon in fifth. Then Miner's Prize, Nothing Flat, and Dollar Bill still trails. The half goes in 46-2. As they move for the turn, a Breeze with the head in front. There's Zealous second, Pure Prize closer third. Then it's a length and a half. Heroes Tribute runs fourth. Gap of 6 to Wood Moon in fifth. Then gaining ground, Nothing Flat, Dollar Bill, and the trailer, Miner's Prize. As they move for the stretch, still a Breeze on the inside. On the outside, there's Zealous. Pure Prize is third, then Heroes Tribute. Here comes Dollar Bill in the center of the track, but now Pure Prize gets a short lead. It's Pure Prize who draws off by 2. Dollar Bill is gaining ground on the outside, then Heroes Tribute. Pure Prize in front. Dollar Bill gains ground, but it's Pure Prize. Pure Prize holds off Dollar Bill, wins it almost a length. Finishing third, that's Heroes Tribute.
Pure Prize finally getting that elusive first stakes victory at the age of 4. A very well-bred youngster from the Phipps operation. Has had some trouble and finally does seem to be in the groove, figuring out how to get things done. Sits a nice stalking trip, shows a little bit more speed than he had been showing in some of his prior starts. Right behind a Breeze and other early pace setter there, Zealous. A Breeze did get off to a little bit of a difficult start, hustled up and did end up fading off the board. Dollar Bill making up steady ground behind the winner, but was unable to get to him, falling short 3/4. Heroes Tribute makes up a little bit of ground late in the going on the fast racetrack and picks up the third spot. The winner, Pure Prize, is a 4-year-old chestnut colt, a son of Stormcat from Heavenly Prize by Seeking the Gold. He was bred by the Phipps stable in Kentucky, owned by Ogden Mills Phipps et al., and trained by Shug McGahee, ridden to victory by Mike Smith. Pure Prize completes the 1 1/8 of the Kentucky Cup Classic in 151-1. We're going to head to New Jersey next for a pair of stakes races from Friday night's card. We're going to begin with the Ali Sheba, a $50,000 event for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 1/16 miles. Let's head to New Jersey now for the running of the Ali Sheba.
And they're off. And Really Irish gets away quickly from the outside, though Combo Nation charging up. Combo Nation to the front, burning Roma from between horses. And Really Irish along the inside is racing third. Be Known to Me is fourth. And then it's a gap of about 7 lengths back to pick up speed is the distant trailer. They swing around the clubhouse turn. Combo Nation on the outside gets the lead by 3 parts of a length. Really Irish, hugging the rail, is second, right there and challenging. Burning Roma just off the 2 leaders, races third at this point by 3. Be Known to Me is fourth, and Pickup Speed is the back marker. The first quarter in 23 and 3/5 seconds. They continue down the backstretch, and it's Combo Nation who continues to show the way, and now Burning Roma charges up on the outside to challenge. Those 2 race as a team. Burning Roma on the outside, Combo Nation at the fence, heads apart. A gap of a length and a quarter. Be Known to Me inching up steadily, now a closer third. Really Irish is back into 4th position, and the trailer Pickup Speed. The half was in 47 and 3/5 seconds. They're midway on the turn. Burning Roma takes command and draws clear by 3 lengths. Be Known to Me, with a belated challenge, is now in the 2nd spot as Combo Nation drops back. They straighten away in the lane. Burning Roma sets sail for home with a 2.5 length lead. Be Known to Me is second. Pickup Speed is racing third. Down the stretch they come in the Alysheba Stakes, and it's all Burning Roma, giving Abe Arcoa his 3rd winner of the night.
Burning Roma picking up a victory here, a horse that may probably be best known for giving Point Given fits last year down in New Jersey. Picks up an easy 6+ length victory as the odds-on choice over Pickup Speed, who did pick up speed late but fell well short. Be Known to Me rallies from off the pace into the 3rd spot. Combo Nation, who was involved in the early pace, as well as Really Irish, who those 2 were duking it out in the early going, both giving way, finishing 4th and 5th. The winner, Burning Roma, is a 4-year-old bay colt, a son of Rubiano from While Rome Burns by Overskate. He was bred in Kentucky by William S. Farish Jr., owned by Harold Queen, trained by Heather Giglio, and ridden to victory by Ibar Koa. Burning Roma completes the mile in a 16th of the Alysheba in 1:43 and 1. Heading back to the Meadowlands next for the running of the Rushing Man Stakes for 3-year-olds on the turf at a mile and a 16th. Let's head back down to New Jersey for the running of the Rushing Man.
And they're off. Full circle in the bright pink colors on the inside. Patrol now ranges up, middle of the racetrack. There goes Entitlement and Jeb's Wild as they pass us for the first time. Patrol with Jerry Bailey has the lead by 3 parts of a length. On the outside, Entitlement is in 2nd position. Then comes the Full Circle tucked in at the rail, racing 3rd at this point. Final Prophecy gains ground between horses but is a bit wide at the clubhouse turn as they race to the backstretch. Patrol in front by 2 lengths. On the outside, Entitlement is second by 3 parts of a length at the rail. The Full Circle is racing 3.5. Then comes Final Prophecy in the black cap on the outside 4th, and Jeb's Wild is between horses 5th. It's a gap of 4 back to the 2nd flight. O'Malley on the inside with the red colors next, followed on the outside by Boca Flyer, who's 2nd last. And Westcliff is the back marker. The half was in 46 and 4, and Bailey has Patrol out there on an uncontested 2-length advantage. Here comes the Full Circle at the inside, gaining ground. Entitlement is asked for more on the outside. 3 back, Jeb's Wild races 4th as they turn for home. Patrol in front by a length and a half. The Full Circle trying to narrow the margin. On the outside, Entitlement not finding any more. Down the stretch they come in the Rushing Man Stakes, and it's Patrol in front and going easily. Now with a 3.5 length lead, Jerry Bailey aboard. Patrol wins it by 3. The Full Circle 2nd, and far back it was Entitlement finishing 3rd.
Patrol gets to the lead as he usually does. He's very aggressive in the early going, drawing off very nicely from this field, kicking home by 2 3/4 from the Full Circle, making his stakes debut off a very nice allowance performance at Saratoga last time out. Entitlement, who gives chase in the early going, weakens a bit late, couldn't find any more, and fades into the 3rd spot. But Patrol, very good race by this colt, who had a little bit of trouble stretching out just a little bit further up at Saratoga. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see this horse stay at the middle distances and do quite nicely. He's got very good speed. The early fractions here were steady but not brilliant, 23.23, 46.88. They seem to really kick home his final time on a track labeled Firm that has really been playing very kindly and to speed and setting, very fast final times, but certainly a horse that may be worthy of watching later on down the road is Patrol. He is a bay colt, a 3-year-old son of Lear Fan from Made for Walking by Prince Sabo, bred in Kentucky by the Claiborne Farm. Owned by Claiborne, trained by Bill Mott. Claiborne, it seemed like Claiborne, McGahee, Smith, and Day had terrific weekends this past weekend. Ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey, Patrol completes the mile and a 16th on a firm turf course very quickly, 1:39.60. We are going to pause now for one more brief message, and when we return, we'll be looking at a very busy weekend's worth of stakes action from Belmont Park. Please stay tuned.
This year, many thoroughbreds, no longer able to compete, will join the ranks of racing's homeless. Since 1982, the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation and its supporters have been providing help and hope for those in need, creating opportunities where once there were none. The TRF, together with the racing industry, is meeting the challenge, taking care of their own. Yesterday's innovative concepts, combining the TRF's rescue mission with educational and rehabilitation goals, have become today's life-saving success stories and a track record of unsurpassed growth. Safely retired thoroughbreds are now enjoying second careers, bringing responsibility, healing, and purpose to the lives of those who need it most. With your help, we can continue our saving mission, ensuring many more horses the welcome home they so richly deserve.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to continue with stakes racing from Belmont Park. Kicking things off, the Floral Park Handicap, a Grade 3 sprint for fillies and mares. Unfortunately drew a short field, but certainly drew a good field. Let's head down to Belmont for Saturday's running of the Floral Park.
And they're off. Shiny Band leaped up right at the break, and Carson Hollow comes out on stride, and she's quickly in front. 2 Market away second, and Gold Mover was off third. A bad start there for Shiny Band, and has her trailing the field in the early going. Swift-footed Carson Hollow takes the field into the far turn. The leader a length and a half. 2 Market chasing second. Gold Mover third, and Shiny Band. Carson Hollow 22-2 opening quarter mile. Carson Hollow blazing the way around the far turn. 2 Market just off for running along in second. Gold Mover coming through on the inside now. Third with 3 furlongs to go. Shiny Band's only 3 lengths from the lead. Carson Hollow has been unchallenged so far, but Gold Mover looms in behind her. Shiny Band is caught up to them on the outside, and 2 Market the field turns for home. Carson Hollow half 45-4, top of the stretch, and she's got another gear. It's Carson Hollow by 2 with a furlong to go. Gold Mover, Shiny Band both chasing. Carson Hollow the leader. Gold Mover is full out, but no threat as they come down to the finish. It is Carson Hollow who scores here wire to wire, defeating Gold Mover by 2.5 lengths on the wire. Shiny Band was third.
Carson Hollow and John Velasquez running away and hiding in the early going. The scratch of La Gallery, a fairly last-minute scratch from John Kimmel's barn, left Carson Hollow essentially alone to do her own thing on the front end. A number of the better sprinting fillies actually stretching out later on the card and going in the ruffian, leaving this race absolutely to Carson Hollow, who dominates on the front end. Gold Mover, who had only a couple of races ago beaten Extra Heat, not able to match strides with her in any way, shape, or form. Shiny Band bobbled a bit out of the gate, rallies into the third spot as 2 Market, who gave chase in the early going, fades to fourth and last. The winner, Carson Hollow, is a 3-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Carson City, from Liziality by Hold Your Peace. She was bred in New York by Patricia Staskowski Purdy, owned by a partnership of Strawneck Stables, Hemlock Hills Farm et al., trained by Richard Dutrow Jr. and ridden by John Velasquez. Carson Hollow certainly deserves to be undefeated, but for the nose victory of you over her up at Saratoga in the test, she would be, and she has certainly never run a bad race and continues to move from strength to strength. I would love to see where they're going to go with this filly. I do suspect that they may be considering the Breeders' Cup Sprint for this 3-year-old New York-bred filly. Carson Hollow and John Velasquez complete the 6 furlongs of the Floral Park on a track that's been yielding very slow times in a quick 1:10.1. Continuing with Belmont Saturday Stakes, the Belmont Breeders' Cup Handicap, $200,000 for older horses, going 1 mile and a furlong on the turf. Let's head back down to New York for the Belmont Breeders' Cup Handicap.
They're in the gate. And they're off. And it's Spruce Run from the inside. StarTac Valponi is assertive early. Into the clubhouse turn, and Spruce Run short lead. Valponi right alongside. StarTac away third on the outside. El Grandpapa hugs the hedge in fourth, and it's 2.5 lengths back to Dr. Kashnikow, and Good Boy Sam trails the early field. Around the clubhouse turn, and it is Spruce Run. Johnny Velasquez takes him in hand, and that being done, Valponi runs right on by and takes the lead. Valponi takes the initiative into the backstretch run. El Grandpapa running in second. Spruce Run hard held on the outside. Resisting that restraint, Spruce Run coming up again and after the lead. StarTac right there fourth on a quarter of 24 and 3. A break of 5 back to Dr. Kashnikow and Good Boy Sam. Moving up the backstretch. Valponi in front. The hard-to-handle Spruce Run way out there. In between those two, it's El Grandpapa, and Jerry Bailey has positioned StarTac just in behind the lead, well within striking range of Valponi. 3.5 lengths behind him. There's a break of another 5 lengths from StarTac back to Dr. Kashnikow, and Good Boy Sam has trailed the field. The half went in 48 and 1/5 seconds. Sensible fractions. Valponi's been in front most of the way. It's Valponi still the leader. The leader with 3 furlongs to go. El Grandpapa trying to get to him, but still a length and a half behind. StarTac now on the inside moves to third. Spruce Run retreats to fourth. Good Boy Sam threads his way through. Dr. Kashnikow down in the inside, in behind StarTac. At the top of the stretch now, it's Valponi, and Jose Santos says go with him. Valponi's got some run, but so too does StarTac. StarTac driving through on the inside of Valponi. Valponi ahead. Here comes StarTac. StarTac and Valponi, nothing between them now. StarTac on the inside, up to take the lead. StarTac the winner, beneath a rail skimming ride by Jerry Bailey. Valponi finishing second and Dr. Kashnikow third.
StarTac finally getting it done, as a lot of people have been waiting to see. This is a horse that last year was a Grade 1 winner in the Midwest for his previous connection. Shipped to the East Coast, arrives in Jerry Bailey's barn, and he does have notoriously sensitive feet. I was a little concerned that the firm turf down in New York might be less than suitable for him, but he ran a beautiful race in hand early under Jerry Bailey, getting the rail pass, getting through inside of Valponi, who was dead game on the as he slid out a little bit from the rail as the odds-on choice, holding on to second. Dr. Kashnikow, who has not been quite as sharp as he had been in the early portion of his career, but comes back with a solid third here, rallying from off the pace. The winner, StarTac, is a 4-year-old bay colt, a son of theatrical from Tenga by Mr. Prospector. He was bred in Kentucky by the late Alan Paulson. He is owned by the Alan Paulson Living Trust and trained by Bill Mott. Ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey, StarTac completes the 1 1/8 of the Belmont Breeders' Cup Handicap on quite firm turf in a brisk 146 and 3. 3-year-olds next in the Jerome. Once a Grade 1, now a Grade 2, $150,000 flat mile for 3-year-olds. Let's head back to Belmont for the running of the Jerome.
And they're off. Boston Common bobbled coming out of the gate, but is quickly in front. Boston Common to the lead. Weinmeister is away second, and Weinmeister takes to the outside as Boston Common moves over to the rail. And then it's Rum Splash who's come away running in third. Essayon runs in mid-pack today. Dial a Hero in hand toward the outside. The favorite Puzzlement is near the back of the pack, about 7 lengths from front running Boston Common. The last of them all is No Parole. Boston Common gets an opening quarter, 23 and 1/5 seconds. The leader a length and a half. Weinmeister hard held in second, and Rumsplasher right there third. Essayon, Edgar Prado keeping after him. No Parole moves to the outside, and then it's Puzzlement who's down on the rail, only about 5 lengths from the lead as they enter the far turn. The trailer is Dial a Hero. The leader is Boston Common. Weinmeister second. They knock off a half there in 46 and 1/5 seconds. They're on the far turn, and it's Boston Common still blazing the way. Weinmeister second on the outside. Rumsplasher is third. Essayon between horses is fourth, and then it's No Parole. Samin is asking more from Puzzlement. They've still got 5 lengths to make up now at the quarter pole. Boston Common heads for home with the lead, and Boston Common lets it out a notch. He leads by 2 as they hit the top of the stretch. Weinmeister is second. No Parole is third. Essayon set down for the drive fourth, and Puzzlement is toiling at the back. They're in the final furlong, and Boston Common is running away from them. Boston Common by 5. Weinmeister second. No Parole third. They're coming down to the finish. And Boston Common sprinted all the way around Belmont today to win by 5 lengths over Weinmeister. Was a photo for third between No Parole and Dial a Hero.
Boston Common takes them gate to wire. This is a horse that had been extremely game in hard-fought contests against very good horses at Saratoga, sprinting with some of the best in the game up here, and here stretches out. No one challenged him in the early going. He was able to get away with what for him were fairly leisurely fractions and opened up by 6 late in the going. Weinmeister, a New Jersey import who had looked last year at the end of the year like he might develop into a very nice one, has had some setbacks but returns here at 20-1 with a nice second-place finisher. Weinmeister, a very large strapping colt. I was surprised to see his size when I saw them in the paddock. I can understand why he may have had some setbacks. Big horses are often plagued by problems, but he looked very solid, chasing every step of the way, not giving up an inch late in the going. No Parole, New York bred, rallies into the 3rd spot after a stumbling start. The winner, Boston Common, is a 3-year-old bay colt, a son of Boston Harbor, from Especially by Mr. Prospector. Bred in Kentucky by the Overbrook Farm, he is owned by Richard Englander and trained by Michael V. Pino. Ridden to victory by Georgie Chavez, Boston Common completes the flat mile at Belmont Park in 1:36. We are going to continue with stakes racing from Saturday with the Grade 1 Ruffian Handicap. This is an interesting race, a mile and a 16th for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, running for $300,000 in Grade 1 company. Most of the fillies in this race were stretch-out horses, as most of them are specialists going a little bit shorter. Let's head down to Belmont now and take a look at Saturday's Ruffian.
And they're off. Mandy's Gold springs out of there. You is off to a good beginning. Raging Fever comes away at the inside. Minister's Baby, Shine Again off a half step slowly. You takes the field through the opening furlong. You is the leader. Raging Fever down to her inside second. Mandy's Gold is just off the pace today. And Shine Again's not far behind. Only 2 lengths from the duel here between Raging Fever and You. And Minister's Baby is in the clear on the far outside. Head-to-head through a quarter of 22 and 3/5 seconds. Raging Fever and You lock horns down the backstretch here. Mandy's Gold just in behind them. On the outside, Minister's Baby just a length off the lead. And Shine Again right up there with 5 furlongs to go. Heading for the far turn. And it's Raging Fever by a head. You right with her. The two of them through a half in 45 and 1/5 seconds on the far turn with less than a half mile remaining. Raging Fever and You have been slugging it out the whole way. Now You's got a short lead. Raging Fever right with her on the inside. And Minister's Baby looms in third. And Shine Again has been sitting off this protracted speed duel now, and she is poised for the final quarter mile. The field turning for home, and You has come away with the lead. Raging Fever just couldn't stay with her. Minister's Baby right alongside You as they turn for home. Mandy's Gold swings into action on the outside. Jean-Luc Samin spurs on, shining in at the rail. They're at the top of the stretch. You's been softened up by several challenges. Here comes Mandy's Gold from off the pace. It's Mandy's Gold in front of You. Shine Again, Minister's Baby. They're coming down from the finish, and a change in tactics today for Mandy's Gold to win it here in an upset. Mandy's Gold by 2.5 lengths over You, who ran a brave race herself today. Shine Again was third.
It was a sprint specialist stretching out, but it was was not the one a lot of people thought was going to win. At 9-1, it was Mandy's Gold, the longest shot on the board, picking up a 2.5-length victory under Jose Santos, a filly who has been known as a little bit speed crazed in the early part of her career. Decides to rate off the pace, and she does so very kindly for Jose Santos, as you and Jerry Bailey went out, got involved in the early going with Raging Fever. It did not work out in either of their favors, setting it up nicely for an off-the-pace rally by Mandy's Gold, who seems to have stretched out quite nicely. Yu holds on for the second spot here, looking for, I believe, her 6th Grade 1 win here. She gets the second spot with Shine Again, who rated off the pace, rallying from off that well off the pace into the 3rd spot. Raging Fever, one of the least successful performances of her career, finishing 5th and last as the favorite. The winner, Mandy's Gold, is a 4-year-old chestnut filly, a daughter of Gilded Time from Mandoria by Aloma's Ruler. She was bred in Virginia by the Audley Farm, is owned by Steeplechase Farm, and trained by Michael Gorham. It does look like they are now considering stretching her out and sending her to the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Ridden to victory by Jose Santos, Mandy's Gold completes the mile in the 16th of the Ruffian in 1:42 and 2. Pair of Grade 1 stakes races on Sunday at Belmont Park, beginning with 2-year-old fillies in the Matron. $200,000 on offer for the juvenile fillies, stretching to a flat mile. Let's head down to New York now and take a look at the Matron.
You got a problem here, I'll tell you what. It's not on.
And they're off. Wild Snitch breaks on top from her outside post, but Vasquez has some early speed as well. Vasquez, Wild Snitch heads apart for the early lead. Storm Flag Flying is right up there with the early leaders, and she's now running 3rd just on the inside of Runaway Chanel. 2.5 lengths back to She's a Smokin', followed by Skipper's Mate, and late-running Furcroft has settled in at the back of the pack. 10 lengths behind the speed duel developing up front between Vasquez and Wild Snitch. And those two have drilled a quarter in 22 and 2. They are moving right along here. Vasquez is the leader with 5 furlongs to go. Wild Snitch just offers second by 2. Storm Flag Flying is tracking them intently in 3rd position. Runaway Chanel coming under a ride already, and she's 4th with 4 furlongs to go here. She's a Smokin' is 5th. The half went in 46 seconds flat. In the meantime, Furcroft is still at the back of the pack with Skipper's Mate, but those two are now only about 6 or 7 lengths from the lead. 3 furlongs from the wire, and here comes Storm Flag Flying on the outside. Wild Snitch will try to win with her. A short lead there for Wild Snitch as Vasquez throws in the towel. Skipper's Mate beginning to show some promise as they turn for home. Furcroft caught in traffic, in tight, off the turn, into the stretch. Wild Snitch digs down. Storm Flag Flying takes over. Storm Flag Flying in front and now beginning to pull away. Storm Flag Flying now pulling away by 3. Wild Snitch left behind in 2nd. Furcroft is now 3rd. She's still a little green, but she's very, very good. Storm Flag Flying has won the Matron by better than 10 lengths. Wild Snitch finishing 2nd, and Furcroft was 3rd.
Storm Flag Flying drawing away to an official 12 3/4 length victory as the favorite, off of a little bit of an erratic victory in her career debut up here at Saratoga. She seems to have moved on very nicely here. Stretches out to a mile very easily, as her pedigree would indicate she should be able to do. Wild Snitch, who is coming up off of 2 very impressive victories in New Jersey, going a little bit shorter. Perhaps this distance is not her very best, but she runs a creditable 2nd, with Furcroft rallying from far, far off the pace after a stumbling start, ran into a wall of horses at the top of the stretch, was able to get through for the 3rd spot, but was certainly no match for the winner. The winner, Storm Flag Flying, is a Dart Bayer Brown 2-year-old daughter of Stormcat from My Flag by Easy Goer. This horse's older sibling did not have much chance. She did, on parade, did come up with a little bit of a physical problem, was retired fairly early, but Storm Flag Flying, shades of her mother, My Flag, who did not win the Matron, but went on to eventually win the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. ended up with a very solid career, including a third-place finish in the Belmont Stakes. So this filly comes by her interest in the Belmont racing surface quite nicely. The track rated good. The weather conditions not particularly good throughout the day, raining on and off. The rains were continuing to fall, and we'll take a look in a few minutes of the next big race run in a downpour. But Storm Flag Flying certainly looks like a filly to keep your eye on. She was bred in Kentucky by the Phipps stable, owned by Ogden Mills Phipps et al., trained by Shug McGahee, ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Storm Flag Flying eased a bit under the wire in 1:38.2. Final stakes race of the program, the Grade 1 Futurity Stakes. This is $200,000. Once again, 2-year-olds Colton Geldings stretching out to 1 mile. Let's head back down to Belmont for a stormy running of the Futurity.
Of the Futurity Stakes. And they're off. Truckle Feature comes out first. Pretty Wild is flashing some early speed. YYY is in between horses, along with Valid Video. And down toward the inside, Blakelock. So a scramble on for the early lead. Near the back early will be Silver Squire. And At First Blush, slow to get in stride. Up the back stretch, and it's Truckle Feature by a length. In between horses, Valid Video right there second, and then it's Blakelock on the rail running along in third. YYY is fourth, and then farther back, Pretty Wild is tailed off in the fifth position. And then it's Silver Squire on the outside sixth, and At First Blush is seventh on the inside as they round the far turn. And it's Truckle Feature. The quarter was a lively one, 22-2 here in this driving rain. There goes YYY. YYY is ranging up on the outside now to engage the leader. Pretty Wild has come again now to be third. Then it's Valid Video fourth toward the inside. A break of 4 back to Silver Squire. Blakelock has dropped back as the field makes their way toward the top of the stretch. YYY has wrested the lead away from Truckle Feature. Pretty Wild is just in behind third. Valid Video is only 4 lengths behind in fourth as the field hits the top of the stretch. YYY takes charge. YYY opening up now. A 3-length lead with a furlong to go. Truckle Feature doing his best, but he's giving way on the inside. On the outside, it's Pretty Wild. They're coming down to the final 100 yards now, and it's YYY in front. Pretty Wild driving to him, but no getting to YYY today, who wins in a driving rainstorm here to win by a length and a half. It's YYY. Pretty Wild finishing second by another 5. Truckle Feature was third, and Valid Video was fourth.
YYY getting another victory here, his third consecutive New York Stakes victory, and a rather handy one throttled down in the late going by Edgar Prado. This horse had skipped the Hopeful in search of this spot and certainly looked like a good place for him. Track labeled good by the time this race was actually, the horses were on the track. They hustled them into the gate because there were oncoming rain and thunderstorms. Not exactly the prettiest conditions in which to run a horse race, but YYY didn't seem to have any trouble with it. He's bred nicely for the off-going. Pretty Wild coming off a very good second-place finish behind Sky Mesa up here at Saratoga, returns to the races with a nice off-the-pace move and picks up the second spot as Truckle Feature went out and got involved every step of the way in the early going for Bob Baffert, who has got so many 2-year-olds that he's probably got them running at just about every racetrack in the country. Held on very gamely for the third spot after being hustled to the front in the early going. The winner, YYY, is a chestnut 2-year-old son of Mr. Grilly from Thoroughfare by Quiet American. Bred in Kentucky by James E. Jones, owned by Biancone and Waki, trained by Patrick Biancone, and ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. YYY completes the flat mile at Belmont Park in 1:36.1. That wraps up another busy weekend of stakes racing action during this fall championship meet in New York, as well as around the country. The racing heating up towards the Breeders' Cup, and things are busy and will be busy for a little bit longer. We hope you've enjoyed the program, and we hope you'll be able to join us next week for more stakes racing action from around the country. I'm Jean Wood, and I will see you back here next time on Horses and Courses.